Hi guys, welcome to another episode. I'm here in the UK on a very unusually sunny day with an episode that I feel should touch many people, as we are all currently experiencing a universal shift and experience. With Covid-19, the coronavirus has swept across the world, and after a bit of self-isolation and watching the news and seeing the social media streams and also just absorbing the narrative surrounding it, I thought it was time for me to speak about it, but not from the angles that I've seen so heavily spoken of. I've heard about the economy, I've heard about the social impact, but something that really rings true to me, as I've suffered with my own mental health issues, is what impact does this have on the mental health? For many people who are used to being sociable or even self-isolated at their own choice, this may be a challenge because we have been told, most countries have been told, to stay at home and to stay away from people. And if this virus has shown us anything, it's how connected we all really are. England is not seen or known to be the most sociable culture, or British, shall I say. People on their phones on the trains or their head in their newspaper. But at a time like this, you see how quickly a virus can spread due to human contact, and it shows that we are all so connected, and not just within our own nations, but internationally. A flight, a boat, a ferry, a cruise ship, the touching of an item and someone else touching that same item, we're connected in this really profound way that we can effectively infect one another. And it just had me thinking, if this has highlighted how connected we are negatively, how can we use this going forward, this information, this knowledge of our connectedness, how can we use it to positively, don't like the word infect, but to positively impact one another. And so my thoughts about this whole virus has been using this time to become more self-aware, to learn more about myself. I'm someone who spends a lot of time isolated anyway, when I'm not in front of crowds or doing work. But this time has really challenged me in the sense that it's made me consider how can I be more of service to others. This virus has put a spotlight on the vulnerable, the elderly. How can I be of service beyond the virus? There are a lot of people who are vulnerable that go under the radar, and you don't know they're vulnerable until a tragedy like this happens. And so while there are many people suffering and it's a frightening time, I try to look for positives in it. And one of the positives are the emphasis on families almost being forced to spend time with one another. Another is people being forced to spend time with themselves. And another that came to me was, actually thinking of things to do. Usually we're so busy that we cannot think, oh, I'm going to read this book, or I'm going to be more mindful, or I'm going to pray more, or I'm going to meditate more, or I'm going to work out. We are being forced into solitude, and I think it's a great opportunity for each of us to learn new habits that we can take with us beyond Corona. But I think it's really important that for those of you who struggle with your mental health, that you be patient with yourself during this process. And I will say the things that have helped me: meditation, prayer, reading, trying to do something creative. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece, but something that can occupy your mind and get some of your external thoughts that you would usually project in another emotion outside down onto a paper or onto a canvas or into a laptop screen or wherever it may be. I think that's really important, activating your creative. I also think that it's quite important to keep routine. So when the days are like this, it's very difficult for a lot of people to be routinely led because they don't have their boss saying you need to do this by this time, or you don't have a lunch break at this hour. But if you can keep your own routine, that can bring some kind of normal to your daily life. So as much as this is an opportunity for you to spend time with yourself and get to know yourself and invest in your own self and your general well-being, this is a great opportunity here for you to consider how you can be of more service to others and within the communities that you're in. How can you be of service to those who maybe are less privileged than you? And I did post this online, but I will say it again, please be careful what you share online, because what you may see as a joke could be really offensive and also damaging to someone who is directly impacted by the coronavirus, whether it be socially, economically, or personally. Someone they love and care about may be ill and unwell, or may have even lost their lives. And so it's very easy to get online and post memes and gifs and jokes and social media videos, and an opportunity to sell, and because everyone's on their phone, flood the timeline with selling stuff. But at the same time, be also conscious that this is a real thing. It's a real issue that's affecting many lives, and don't wait until it affects you or someone you know until you treat it with that kind of empathy and sensitivity. The impact of this goes well beyond just the virus itself. And I'm speaking to those of you in my audience who do struggle with your mental health. Be easy with yourself. And if the news helps you, watch it. If it doesn't help you, don't watch it. I personally like to be informed, and so I listen to a lot of what the doctors are saying. I like the progression of things. I'm obsessed with solutions, so I'm always looking at the bigger picture and how can this be used going forward. I'm always looking for the details that can fill the puzzle within my mind that help me to better understand my next move. But someone else, you may deal with things differently. Find the thing that works for you and do it. Do more of it. And the things that don't work for you, do less of them. I'll encourage you all to follow your country's guidelines. Now is not the time to be rebellious. You effectively have the power within you right now to save lives. So if your guidelines are stay home, I encourage you to stay home. Keep distance from people and protect your family, and by you doing that you will be able to protect your wider community and effectively stop this from being potentially as bad as it could be. I thank you for your time today. Remember, be mindful, meditate, pray, fill your day with productive tasks such as reading, art, anything creative, fitness, working out, and have a routine. Those are my tips for you to better navigate through the coronavirus pandemic. I love you all. Thank you for your time. Until next time, I wish you better days. Stay blessed.